Almost 3 months left for CAT and everyone has the same question now. Can I crack CAT if I start now? See, obviously you can crack CAT and that is why I'm making a video. However, the effort needed from this stage will be very different. You cannot expect to crack CAT if you just give like 2 hours a day from now. It has to be at least 4 hours from now on. And also the strategy that you have to follow has to be very different. You have to focus on high scoring areas that will give you the maximum return. And that is why in this video, I will discuss all about it. The overall strategy, that is whether you should self-prepare or take any coaching, what kind of mocks you should appear for, and the section-wise strategy as well. That is what are the topics in each of the section that you should prepare and how you should go about that preparation. Now, first to decide whether you should self-prepare or take a coaching at this stage, you need to ask yourself a few questions. The first question you need to ask yourself is, are your basics and foundations clear? For this, you can appear for any free mock and see if you're able to solve more than 50% of the quant question and the LRDI question even without the timer, then yes, your foundations are somehow there in place and you probably do not need a coaching after this. And second thing that you should ask yourself is, are you clear with the CAT syllabus? Do you know what are the topics within each of the sub-subjects? Like, for example, there is arithmetic, there is algebra. Do you know the topics within each of them and at what stage you should prepare each of the topics, in what sequence you should be preparing the topics? If you already have a basic idea of these things, then probably yes, you can go for self-preparation again. And third, and the most important thing that you need to ask yourself is, will you be able to stay motivated for the next 3 months? Remember, when the deadline is 3 months away, we tend to procrastinate and things become like really problematic after that. If you think that you will not be able to remain self-motivated, and probably a coaching which will probably conduct a topic every week, will have topic tests every week, yes, then that will be useful for you because then you will be progressing gradually. You know that you have to complete a topic every week. So yes, the progress will be there. However, if you think that you can stay self-motivated, you're already self-motivated and think fit the above 2 criteria as well, then yes, you can go for self-preparation. However, if you're taking a coaching as well, remember at this stage, do not take a full-fledged coaching batch. You cannot enter middle of a batch and think that you will cope up with everything and see the record lectures and cope up with everything. Rather, what you need to do is enter those batches which are fast-paced, that actually claim to complete the syllabus in 3 months, 100 days or whatever. You need to enter the fast-track batches of these coaching institutions. And if you decide to join a coaching, I can suggest you iQuanta's crash course. So I had used this course for revision because I was through the syllabus by then and I had got it for free because I was enrolled in their other batch. However, you can use this batch for full-fledged preparation as well. There are many people who have cracked CAT in 3 months with intense preparation. So there is Rahul, there is Saurabh, there is Kumar Adarsh from iQuanta who had converted IIM Calcutta, IIM Kozhikode, IIM Indore with just 3 months of intense preparation. To tell you more about the course, it will be an intense 3-month preparation, and the best thing about the batch is now it will focus on maximizing your marks by giving weightage to important topics like arithmetic, algebra and geometry. And apart from this, you also get access to 24/7 doubt solving forums. Then there are live mega practice marathons and AI-based ICAT mock test series as well. Next, I want to cover about how many mock tests you should appear for. Remember, even if you're not prepared at this stage, if you're just starting out, then also you have to appear for mocks just like a well-prepared student. At least 2 mocks every weekend you have to appear for. That means like 2 mocks every week if you appear for, it is okay. At this stage, it is fine. I would have suggested definitely more. If you have the time, then please attempt 3 mocks every week, but 2 is also sufficient for you to prepare at this stage. So if you start preparing around like 2 mocks every week, it's kind of like you will end up having more than 30 mocks by the time you reach November. It's more or less fine. I think if you appear for 30 mocks, you'll be fairly comfortable. Most of the toppers as well appear for 30 to 40 mocks only. However, since you are starting out, you will take the first initial 10 to 15 mocks to just finalize your strategy because these things are very new to you. And remember, no matter how much syllabus you have covered, don't not even think about it. Just appear for mocks. Even if you have not started, just appear for mocks. Every weekend, you have to make it a habit that you will appear for at least 2 mocks. So that's how your schedule should look like now. Monday to Friday, at least 4 to 5 hours you should be giving to theory and different practice questions. And Saturday, Sunday, you should be appearing for mocks, once a mock on Saturday and one mock on Sunday. And remember, you just do not appear for a 2-hour mock on Saturday, Sunday. After those 2 hours, you also spend time on analyzing the mocks, which means another 3-4 hours on Saturday, Sunday would go for analyzing the mocks as well, which means you have to give a commitment of around 5-6 hours on Saturdays and Sundays as well. Now that was all with the overall strategy. Now we come to the section-wise strategy for each of the sections. And remember, this is for someone who is just starting out CAT preparation or has just completed a few topics only. In case you are done with more than 50% of the syllabus, you can improvise on it. And in case you are seeing this video for CAT 2024, then remember your strategy will be very different. You will be preparing a lot of different things as well on top of these, obviously. And this strategy will be like a quick and dirty hack so that you can maximize your score in the remaining time. And before we start, how you should be splitting the time across sections: 1 hour should be for verbal, 1 hour should be for LRDI, and 2 hours for quant. If you can give more time in a day, then probably yes, try to split the time again equally between verbal, quant, and LRDI, the extra time that you have. And remember, verbal and LRDI, we will be focusing more on problem solving rather than theory. I will let you know the detailed strategy, but you will be focusing only on solving questions now. And for quant, the strategy will be very different. You will be focusing, definitely you have to focus on theory. So you will be focusing on the important topics only that can maximize your score. So let's start with the verbal section, and let us first understand what are the things you should not do in these 3 months. If you are preparing for vocabulary still, please stop doing that, because this is not going to give you any return at this stage. The time has already passed. If you keep focusing on vocabulary, it will not help. What you need to focus on is more on critical reasoning. That is, how do you solve a particular RC problem or any critical reasoning problem? And that will only come with practice, not through your vocabulary. Second more important thing is, if you are still reading books or novels to improve your English, to improve your reading ability, please stop that, because you do not want to stick to the same style of writing for a long time. Rather, practicing more RCs, reading editorials, these are things that will help, where you can read different styles of writing in a short span of time. That is what you need to do at this point of time. You need to read different styles of writing, you need to understand different tones of author, and you need to read about different subjects and not stick to the same subject for like 1 week, 2 weeks at the same time. So now what you should do for verbal is, if you like to read newspapers, then you can read Hindu editorials, maximum 30 minutes in a day. It should be fair enough. However, do not include that in the 4-hour study time that you have. Please keep it separate. At this point, it's very crunched. So, and if you think that you can only give 4 hours and cannot include the newspaper, then you can ignore it as well. You need to focus more on solving RCs. Remember, RCs form majority of the verbal paper. So if you become good at RCs, you will be scoring really high. And at the same time, if you learn how to solve RCs, you will automatically learn how to solve the critical reasoning questions. And parajumbles also become very easy after this point of time, if you have that critical reasoning ability. And for RCs, what you need to do is obviously focus more on solving. If you need to read the theory, if you think that no, it is very important for you to read the theory as well, then you can refer to this book, GMAT Manhattan. Quickly read the theory in 1 or 2 days maximum, and do not refer to it again. You have to practice more RCs, so maximum 2 days for theory. After that, just start picking up RCs, 4 RCs, 6 RCs, whatever you can fit in your time. Start solving those questions. Start thinking about the patterns which you're getting wrong. Start giving more mocks. Try to analyze why you are getting certain options wrong. And in RCs, remember, you have to read the solution for each of the options. Understand why particular options are wrong. Is it a similar pattern that you're getting wrong every time? Understand why a particular option is right as well. However, more important is to understand why the other options can be eliminated. In RCs, you will always be eliminating different options, never selecting the right answer. Only then your accuracy will improve. If you go for like selecting the right answer first, you will never be able to solve RCs. You will never be able to improve your accuracy. Always learn how to eliminate certain options. And for that, you have to learn why a certain option becomes wrong. And I can suggest you another book for solving RC, that is RC 99, which is also a very good book. However, the past year mock papers are also there. You can solve that as well. You can solve past year CAT papers as well. That is also a good source to practice RC. So you have a lot of RCs to practice. It's just that every day you have to practice now 4 to 6 RCs points minimum. That is all you need to do for verbal. And now for LRDI, you need to do a similar thing. You need to practice and practice more sets. There is no time again for theory here. In fact, I will tell you, I prepared for CAT for 8-10 months, yet I didn't pick up any book like Arun Sharma or anything for preparing the theory of LRDI. I straight away jumped to solving problems through past year mocks. I took it up gradually, and that is the only preparation I did. If I did it for like 8-10 months and I saw the result, because there was no point in preparing the theory. The pattern of LRDI has changed after 2016. It's very difficult to even figure out a set is from which topic. There are multiple topics mixed in a particular set. It has become very complex. Rather, you take it as a puzzle that you need no preparation for that. What you need is patience. Obviously, you need a lot of patience. It's more like a Sudoku that you don't need any prior preparation for that. Rather, what you need is having a mind that can solve that kind of a puzzle, and that will only come with practice. And how do you need to practice this? First, start with untimed tests or maybe untimed sets, and that you will get from past year mocks. Those are the best sources for practicing LRDI sets. The past year mocks after 2016, obviously. Try to pick up the recent mocks only 2022, 2021 and so on, because that will give you the most relevant sets. You can also pick up past year CAT papers, but do not pick up CAT papers before 2016. Only after 2016 you should be practicing the CAT papers. Otherwise, it will not benefit you much. The only thing that you need to do at this stage is practice and practice more sets. There will be a time when you will not be able to crack a particular set in say 30 minutes of time as well. However, it does not matter. Even if it takes 30 minutes and you think that you are still progressing, please keep doing it. Have the patience. Even if it takes 40 minutes, do not concentrate on the timer. Just solve that particular set. If you solve it, it will give you a lot of confidence. However, if you think that you have spent like 10 minutes, 15 minutes on the set and you have not even moved to the first step, you do not have any idea how to like make the table and everything for that particular set itself, then probably yes, then you have to refer to the solution. Once you refer to the solution, I'm pretty sure it's like a puzzle, so it's not like you have not studied that theory. So you will understand that, and you can come back and maybe solve similar kind of sets in future. That will kind of give you the confidence. However, if you're able to progress, give that set 30 minutes, 40 minutes, even 1 hour if that requires, but have the patience to solve the set on your own. So that is all for LRD, and nothing fancy over here. You just need to practice. First, start without the timer, and then once you are like fairly comfortable after solving probably 50 or 100 sets, you will definitely feel very comfortable, and after that you can start solving with a timer as well. And obviously you are appearing for mocks where you are solving those LRDI sets with a timer, but after solving probably 100 sets, you can start with a timer as well. You can time all the sets that you are solving, because then you need to make sure that you are able to solve the sets within at least 15 minutes and it does not exceed 15 minutes. If there is any set which takes more than 15 minutes, that is a set that you will not attempt during the CAT paper. And start finding this pattern as well in the mocks. Which are the sets that you are comfortable with? Which are the sets that you are taking more time in? And once you figure this out, this will make things easy for you. Remember, in CAT, you do not need to solve all the sets. What you need to do is be smart and in picking up the right sets that you are comfortable in. So you need to find those comfort areas. And you can, once you see the CAT papers, you will be able to figure out some patterns, like kind of arrangement sets. There will at least be one arrangement set, which was, I found it very comfortable to solve those kind of sets. So if you can develop your expertise in that particular set, you know that this set will definitely appear in CAT paper and at least one set is sorted. Similarly, you have to make sure that 2 or 3 sets you are sorted with. So now coming to quant preparation, first I want you to look at the weightage of different topics in the previous year CAT paper. Arithmetic, you can see it is almost 8, 9, 10, 11 questions as well, which is almost 40-50% of the paper. And you know, if you solve 40-50% of the paper, what is your percentile? If you solve like 40%, your score will be around, I think, 24, and that's more than 95 percentile. If you solve 50% of the paper, your percentile will be 99 percentile, which means if you just solve all the arithmetic questions correct, you can be there at 99 percentile. On a bad day, 50% of them will be like probably 97, 98 percentile in quant, but still a very, very high percentile. So who says you cannot crack CAT in 3 months? If you just solve one topic and if you solve it very, very intensely that you can attempt all the questions in the paper, you still crack it with 99 percentile. but you cannot rely only on arithmetic. For sure, there will be some difficult questions, at least one or two very difficult questions that you will not be able to solve. And that's why you have to see the different weightage sequence as well. Arithmetic will definitely, you will have most questions from arithmetic. After that, it will be algebra. After that, it will be geometry. After that, it can be modern maths or number system, but usually modern math. And after that, the number system. This is usually the sequence of weightage of different topics. However, it can vary a little, but arithmetic and algebra mostly will always be at the top, which means the strategy should be now very clear to you. Arithmetic and algebra, you have to solve it end to end. You should be very confident in these two topics. Probably out of the 3 months that you have left, 1.5 months you can give to just these two topics for preparing the theory end to end and for making sure that whatever question comes, at least even the most, the slightly lower end of difficulty, definitely. And even if it's a difficult problem, at least you're able to attempt in these two particular topics. You should be that confident in these two topics. And after that, geometry, modern maths and number system, you cannot ignore entirely. You cannot take that risk. However, what you need to do is solve the basics of it. Just learn the basic theorems and try to solve during the mock exams. Whatever solution you see from those particular questions, try to solve that, try to understand those solutions. So now what that will do is, if there's a very easy question from geometry or modern math or number system in the CAT paper, you will ensure that you are not missing out on those. Yes, medium to difficult questions, probably you will not be that well prepared and you will not be able to attempt, but that is fine. Even if the number of questions are pretty less, there's like 3, 4, 5 questions maximum from any of these topics. So even if you are able to solve like 1 or 2 out of them, that's more than enough. Make sure you're able to solve the very easy questions in these topics, and arithmetic, algebra, you are able to solve the medium to difficult questions as well. And how you need to prepare for algebra and arithmetic, you need to obviously prepare for the theory, and now you can refer to any standard book. There is Sarvesh, there is Arun Sharma as well, so you can refer to those books. And remember, you do not need to solve each and every exercise problem. You can go maximum till LOD2, and for the exercise problems as well, do not solve each and every question like 1, 2, 3, because what happens is usually people start from the very top and they do not solve the questions that are at the end, which are the important questions as well. So rather you can solve it like this: solve the first question, then solve the fourth question, then the 7th, then the 10th, and follow this particular arithmetic progression so that you are solving it end to end. Usually you will see in these books what happens is first question, then the second, third is just a repetition of the same concept with different values. So that does not add much value. So rather skip some problems in between. However, make sure that you're reaching the end of the exercise at least. Apart from the theory, obviously you will be solving the topic tests and the mock tests, which should take care of the practice. However, remember here as well, while you are focusing on theory, but do not avoid the practice. Problem solving and solving it in an exam environment are skills that need to be developed, and that can only happen if you practice more and more. And obviously, if you compare it with verbal and LRDI, where I said there is no theory at all to be prepared in those sections, it's just practice. However, your focus should more be on quant now, because that is where you have to also complete a bit of the syllabus. So your focus, if you're giving 2 hours, 50% time for verbal and LRDI combined and 50% time for quant alone. This was all about preparing in 3 months, and if you have any doubt, let me know in comments. I will try to stay more active and more connected with you for the next 3 months so that everyone watching this can get into their dream B school and probably can make it to IIM Ahmedabad next year. Remember, CAT is also a mental battle, which means if you do not lose in your mind, you can still win this. So best of luck to everyone.